Welcome, readers and writers. My name is Miss Hodson, and I am your virtual teacher. We're heading into our culminating week of lessons, and we are very excited to have you back after 9 weeks of articles around a central topic. We're going to get started today as we finally get to the end of why have we been asking these guiding questions for the past approximately 9 weeks. So how is the adolescent brain changing? And how can I make an informed decision about an issue like screen time and then effectively argue my position? As we stayed focused around a healthy brain and a healthy life and good balance in our lives, we've read a series of articles, and now we're to the culminating week where you are going to take a stand. You can pause the video here if you need to in order to find your distance learning packet, a pencil, and you'll need lesson 44 today. That's actually a 2-page lesson because the list of all 9 articles is in it, plus the lesson 44 note catcher. Pause the video here if you need to locate these materials, and then we'll get started when you're ready. All right, great. Here we are going to get started. 1 learning target today. This is I can use text to answer questions. And this is what we call an adventure. You get to pick what you're going to focus on for this week's lesson and learning. And the articles that we've read are listed not only in your distance learning packet, all 9 articles might still be there, possibly stapled together, who knows what you've done over this time, but these are the names of the 9 articles. And again, you can pause it here to locate these articles, but in lesson 1, which would have brought us into week 1, we read about curiosity changes the brain to boost memory and learning. Then we took a deeper look at explaining the parts of the brain and the science around that. And then we got into why your mindset matters. So your energy and effort, your belief that you bring to your learning absolutely makes a difference. And that would have begun lesson 10 or our 3rd week. So you can see as we go through each of the weeks and articles, our topics changed about exercise, about getting enough sleep, about screen addiction, and maybe a little too much use of screen time. So we've really been focused around that, and today you get to begin to select something that you're focused and interested in the most. So the read portion of our lesson today is just this very high-level idea that you have been learning about different issues involving the brain and ways to develop opinions so you can take action and advocate not just with your family, but with your friends and your community. So for this project, you get to take a stand. You will create what we call a public service announcement, a PSA. And it's about the importance of an issue that you pick around our topic over the last 9 weeks. And you will be drawing evidence out of the article or articles for your point of view. You're going to be writing a mini speech about an important issue that is called a public service announcement, and PSA for short. So it is an announcement that is also an advertisement. You'll need to sell your idea and convince others that with the information and the evidence that you have a compelling point and you might influence people. So in that viewing experience, we really want to take a look at how your opinion and your evidence may sway or change the way other people think about it. Your own peers, your own age group, parent age group, and even community. So you want to look at the articles from our study together And again, I linked those into your distance learning packet. I can go back to that slide also. And today, your goal is to choose 2 of those articles that you found possibly the most interesting, or that you wouldn't mind spending a little time this week writing around and really digging into a little more intensely. You will end up using one of those 2 articles to create your public service announcement. So today you're choosing 2 articles and you'll reread one of them in order to inform your next move. So you might want to pause the video here and look at those 9 articles and find the 2 that you're going to spend a little time at the beginning of our week together reviewing and deciding, like, what am I most interested in, or what argument am I most interested in proposing to the community. And so as you do that, I want you to think about an issue in an article that you are going to reread. So we're going to go back here and I'll show you the list of the articles. You can pause the video here so you can see what's on the screen. And I'd like you to take about 15 or 20 minutes to find the 2 articles that you are interested in spending time with today and tomorrow. And that's all you're going to do right now. Find the 2 articles that interest you the most, or you think you can write from the most powerfully. And then when you're done, I'm going to set my timer, but when you're done, you just pause the video here and come on back in 15 minutes when you know what your 2 articles are and you have them, okay? And then we'll continue the lesson. So pause now and I'll see you soon. Okay, so hopefully you were able to find several of these articles, if not all of them, and you are able to select just a couple that were more interesting or compelling for you than the others. And so as we think about the issue in the article you just reread, you want to take one action. You want to think about an action that people can take to help solve the issue. This action can be one from the article or the text that you read, or one that you've thought up over our time period of study together, and you just really want to dig in around that. Think about why the issue is important to you and why people should take action as you pick it out. So review the note catchers from the week of the article that you're reading, and then we will take the next step. So you're down to 2 articles and you're going to reread just one of them today, and we'll do something else tomorrow with our lesson. So as you move into this part of the lesson, you could have a conversation with a family member or someone you've been working with through our virtual learning. And just thinking about, what is the issue from that article or text? What's the issue that you're intrigued by or interested in? And why is it important? What is the action that people can take to help solve the issue? What can they do to help themselves or help others? And why should people take that action? You've learned a lot about the development of the brain, how we need to take care of our brain, and what is really good and what might work against our brain. So I'd like you to pause the video so you can see these questions and have that conversation, and then we'll get back and move into our note catcher. All right, so our goals today were to find 2 articles and reread just one of them. And so this note catcher will help us draw some evidence and ideas together so that we are moving our public service announcement, our PSA, forward. So using the Lesson 44 note catcher, answer the questions using the article you've selected. And so you just want to put the title at the very top of your note catcher, title of the article, and then just in really simple terms, you don't have to write a ton there. What is the issue? What's the problem? And why is the issue important? What is an action that you can take? And why should people take the action that you picked out? So you're trying to influence others and to be caretaking of their brain and their body, okay? So you're just reading one of the articles today and you're filling out this note catcher. So I'm going to give you about 10 minutes to quickly review that and fill this out, and then come on back and we'll finish up. All right, so welcome back. I'm going to actually take the slides back just a little bit and go to the list of the articles. So specifically, some real issues were proposed in Article 1 around being curious. There was another article, the third one, that talked about growth mindset, being again, curious, but also knowing that failures help us learn. Like, we're not going to get it right all the time. It's going to be sometimes hard, and how hard actually helps us. We talked in some of the articles about stimulating the brain, and I found particularly interesting how exercise helps the brain and the development of the hippocampus and other things that that article talked about, and also how sleep influences the health of the brain. I think that's an interesting one too. So when you look at a public service announcement, taking the idea of sleep into account, what's the issue? People don't get enough sleep. They're on their screens, they're watching movies late at night, or they're texting, or they're on social media, and they're not getting enough uninterrupted sleep. And that significantly alters their energy level, their focus ability, their learning potential. It just affects things. So, like, just as an example, that's one of them. Later in our 9 weeks, we got into screen addiction, like how it actually influences the emotion of young people, and probably adults too, and how people are becoming more responsible about sharing news and doing some fact checking, by the way, and really looking deeply at what they're consuming from the news. Is this accurate? Does this make sense to me? Is this my experience? Am I concerned also? So these are all potentials from this lesson, and I hope you just stayed focused on one of the articles and really helping yourself. Maybe this is what I'll do, and then tomorrow we'll look at your second choice. And by the end of our lesson tomorrow, I think you're going to know where you're headed. So we're just looking at our learning target, that we can use a text. I can use a text to answer questions. What questions? The ones on my note catcher. 4 really simple questions. So as we close out today, just kind of have a conversation, maybe with someone in the family or around you in a caregiving way, a friend, that is helping you decide, what am I going to write about this week, and what will my culminating activity around a PSA, an influence in my community with my family. Do you have an opinion, and do you have evidence to back your opinion up? After you complete this thinking and rereading, and you've done the work today, maybe you'll continue your reading on a piece of text that you've chosen for yourself. And I hope that you continue to do that, not just 20 minutes a day, but as often as you can, and change that way of thinking. Like, reading makes you powerful. Read some things that are happening about the world today. Don't take the news media's opinion about things. Really dig into it. Not just fact checking, but do I really believe what I'm hearing, and how can I find out more? Do your own research, form your own opinions. I'm really glad that you were with me today, and I look forward to picking up this subject with you again tomorrow. Between now and then, I hope you make it a great day.